Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, bro. Mikey saves the day. Comes in clutch. Morning, Trade Pros. So what I was saying is Thursday, Friday, we had sound good, Mikey? Thursday, Friday, I had a little bit of an absence of the morning market update, had some issues that I had to resolve. We actually took the day off the trading room, but I still did the morning market update. Um, and so yeah, here we are. It's Monday. We're back to business. Everything is good. My wife's feeling better. She's had a little accident. It could have been much worse. Everything's back to normal, thankfully. Right? Those moments kind of make you think about how fickle life could be, how things could change in a moment. All right. So today we're looking for some upside opportunities based on the news, but it's gonna be a weird update. That's why I wore this shirt. This is probably the worst t-shirt concept. Well, not really the worst, but I've had some bad ones. This came in way bigger and way lower than I expected. Hi, Isaiah. The shirt. Do you like this shirt? You like it? Okay, never mind. It's one of the best shirts ever. Do you like the green or the red one better? You know why it's green? Because the market's going up. Atta boy. All right. Um, Good job, Isaiah. You're gonna be doing this update tomorrow. Get ready, okay? Yeah. No, I'm kidding, buddy. No, no, not like that. Not like that. Okay, so here's the news for the morning. Trump at 7:05 in the morning. So markets look pretty rough. Friday, pretty bearish. This overnight session, pretty bearish as well. And then 7:05 in the morning, Donald Trump on Truth Social puts out a message saying he had very productive talks with Iranian leaders and about very productive and good talks about ending the situation in the Middle East entirely. All right, the market rallied, 250 plus points on that news. I tried to get on board for some of the opportunity. And did okay on sim. Then I flipped to live when I realized I was in sim. You got to understand, I just got my coffee at 7 in the morning. I sat at the desk and the news came in. I'm like, I got to do something about it. So did good on sim, then switched to live and took a few losers. Because, with a 3 point stop, the volatility, you're basically entering and exiting right away on the stop. And it continued to go up. So very choppy, turbulent conditions. But I'll tell you this. So based on that news, Iran and Israel have since kind of refuted it. Israel said they have strikes going on at the moment. Iran said that there's no such thing that's happened, and it's all just leverage and buying himself some time to plan his next military operation. And just I don't know. I'm not there. You don't know either. The people telling you the news don't know either what's happening. All right. There's a good chance Trump and the Iranian leaders don't know either of what's actually happened. All right. I got some briefings from traders at the desk said that it was done via SATCOM, the communications, and it did happen at a high level, but they don't know either. This is all just everyone's just trying to find out rumors and find out some kind of edge because the most important part is going into Friday, everybody was prepared and hedged to the downside. Today, this news comes out, and the saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. And despite it being not really as much of a rumor, because Trump said it, it's not actually news yet either. There's no confirmation from both sides. So this could be one of a few things. This could genuinely be the beginning of the end, which would be the greatest thing for humanity. All right. Well, not, there's other great things for humanity, but at this moment, this would be great. A war ending is a great thing. Could be the beginning and end of it. And there's some news sources that cite that that's kind of where we're working towards, or it could just be a head fake, right? It could be one of those things that doesn't really pan out, temporary reprieve, and then we go lower. It's just remember this on February 26th. Never forget this because this tells you a lot. Remember, forget what people say, see how they act. February 26th, there's a high stakes meeting between Iran and the United States. All right. And after that meeting on a Friday, I'll never forget it. All right. Trump said Iran isn't ready to give up nuclear development, and they're not really progressing in the talks. Immediately after, Iranian news sources are saying we are ready to talk about giving up the nuclear program, but we need more discussion. We've been ready. We just need a plan and to negotiate. And then conflicting sources on both sides. And then, bam, February 28th on the Sunday, while markets are closed, everything started. All right. So it's chess, not checkers. So instead of reading into this and trying to make investment decisions, look at it as a trader. What's actually going on? What's actually going on is there's some rumors that could lead to the end of it. It would be a very bullish event. All right. Now, the market isn't here to wait for confirmation. The market prices in the rumor and then readjusts on the news. So it's buy the rumor, sell the news. So if this is actually the beginning of the end, and all these parties are fighting to make it seem like they won, and that's what they're doing at the moment, it's going to be an overall good thing. It's going to be an overall bullish thing. But all you have to look at as a trader is what's the market taking in and pricing in. At the moment, what's being priced in is positivity at 705, big spike higher, and then as the reports refuted what was being said, it came off of the highs, but not as much as the high rallied. So you could see that there's some optimism built in that this could be a real thing. Oil's continuing its slide lower. This could be the beginning of the end of what's the Iranian and Middle Eastern war at the moment. All right. Don't think, just look at the charts and see what it's telling you. One heck of a day to start this off with, but I'll show it to you on the screen chart actually in a moment. I've been working on something really exciting behind the scenes, and I'll show you the first look at it today. So let's, without further ado, turn around, look at the charts. Let's find out the trading plan, and let's put this into some actionable context for the day. Let's not think things through. Let's look at things and respond and look at the key information, not our political bias, not our geopolitic events, but just do remember that today, at any given moment, you're liable to hear breaking news and for the market to move to and through your stop and annihilate your position if you don't have a stop. So have a stop, reduce the size, and just either accept the volatility conditions that it's going to be a bit of a wild day, or just don't even participate. Just watch. Watching this thing from the sideline might be a bit bigger learning lesson to you than it is trading it and any profits you could generate or losses. All right, let's turn around. Let's look at the charts. I'm going to need a second to adjust to chart sharing mode, but let me look at what's going on YouTube. Trade pros in the room, good morning to you. All right, let's turn off the video. Let's share the screen for today. I'm not prepared to do screenshots and all that, but all right, so let's get into today's plan. These are the news events from this morning. All right. This is what I wanted to show you. I'm working on creating, well, I'm not working on creating it. It's been created. I don't know that this is the first day that I want to like lean on this, but a Trade Pro conviction index. Now, it's not just based on what I think, it's based on a lot of data. This is why it took me some time to kind of put together. And the idea here is it gives us the step on it, like how hard to hit the gas pedal. All right. And it's in beta mode, but I'm kind of sharing it still to get some reference out of it. I'm using it myself and putting it out there for you guys to consider. But it's a 4 out of 10. And it says selective conditions, be choosy, reduce risk, quick to scratch anything that stalls. And it's based on a lot. It's based on overnight range, prior day range, volume, volatility, options chains, gammas. There's a lot of data inputs. There's about 36 different inputs on a daily basis that it calculates this off of, and a pretty large data set of historical context. So it's telling us to be selective, and that means reduce size, quick to scratch trades, tighter profits than usual, wait for clear structure before entry. All right, so here's the trading plan. The story overnight was, or rather, the story in the US session on Friday is completely different than today. So the market opened at 66.41 half. And by the way, I've had to go from 16 ticks on this chart to 24 reversal bars. The reason being, I wasn't seeing enough price action. All right, it got too volatile. So I'm at a 24 R&B reversal bar chart, which is a unique type of chart that I love. Like, look how long this candle was. One candle strips away time, just shows you the market action and rotations. So market opened at 641 half on Friday. Prior day high set at 66.43, all but a point and a half of a rally, where we slammed the market lower into the GEX levels, which now becomes the HVL, based on zero DTE options. Nice support structure here at 6600, but we break through it, we rally, and we close kind of into the 65, 62 area. All right. On Friday, things were escalating with Iran. Markets were kind of losing hope, got a little bit gloomy. I saw reports that were 2 to 3% from the lows on the quant side of things. And I got an indicator flashing on my custom built study for S&P. So you could see here. I'll show it to you real quick. ES, yeah, this is it on a daily chart. It went green. So whenever it goes green, it's buying time for the portfolio, and I've been using this. There's the last time it went green. The time before it wasn't really the greatest, but if you go back in time, it kind of highlights the entry points with a little bit of a lag, but it works pretty good, and it's something that's more passive, less thinking. You see it, you kind of do it. So I did get the thing flashing green on Friday, and I got excited for portfolio adding mode. And then we got that big rally. So let's see what we get today. Regardless of today's spike, I was planning to add to the port to begin with. And I think after Friday, after that gloom, traders started to look at it and say, are we oversold? We traded the 6,400 handle for the first time since September 8th. All right, that was significant. It happened overnight. But for the Friday session, we closed out the day 119 and a quarter point range with 1.94 million volume. All right, significantly higher range than average. All right, but then look what happens overnight. Overnight, we have a gap that forms, a bearish gap. It looks pretty daunting. And then Monday morning at 7:05, bam, that's today. It explodes higher on the news squawk. I had the news on. I saw the thing go live, and I saw the market just absolutely rocketing higher. It was something to kind of witness. Doesn't move like that very often. All right, so market established a 261 and a half point range. That's what you're looking at, 260 points. And then we clawed back some of those gains, but we didn't even get to the halfway point. So overnight high is 67.48 at the moment. Overnight low 83. Half volume is sitting at 785,000. That's really high. Considering all of Friday is 1.94 to be at 785K. We've just done all of Nasdaq's average daily volume in the first half of the day overall for the S&P 500. All right. So the trading plan is pretty simple, but not really. Kind of like the TradePro t-shirt. It's green. It has a decent idea, but not the greatest opportunity in terms of execution. But my son likes it. So there you go. Tape bombs are going to generate volatility. All right. No matter what model you're running, you could be a quant trader. You could be, you could be a hedger. You could be a dealer. You could be a mutual fund manager. You could be a pension fund trader. You could be anything. All of the categories, all the institutional ones. And your model today is going to be struggling. These are the kind of events that don't really fit into models. Unless you have a news volatility trading model, then you're laughing today because this is your kind of bag. All right, no matter what model you're running, it's going to need readjustment. It's going to need assumptions to be made. It's going to be decision making, tinkering in here. And as you kind of go through that process on the institutional side, you're going to calculate I'm either under or over hedge. I either have to buy or sell huge to the one side or the other. And the question is, how much do you believe that this is actually the low is in? Because if you believe the low is in, you're going to have to start buying higher. If you don't believe the low is in and this is just rumor, you're going to let go of the bid and you're probably going to even sell some. This is a great opportunity, all right, to add some sell side exposure because of the rally. So that's the question, and there's no answer to it. That's why it's a trade. It's a bit of a challenging day. And as traders, we're gonna watch the tape, assess the opportunities. We're gonna watch the order flow, all right. But we're gonna get more volatility than usual today. You're gonna probably need a bigger stop, but you have an opportunity to get bigger targets as well, all right. So order flow and trading edge today is diminished. You have to know that. Size down and wait for an A plus setup as a result. The reason order flow and trading edge is diminished is some people think that this creates more opportunity for their system, but is your system tested in news driven volatility? Because if it's not, I can tell you factually, this is not actually opportunity for you. It's opportunity to blow up your account. There's opportunity for that for sure. But your order flow and trading level edge kind of diminishes quite drastically if we're trading on news and geopolitical events because do you really think that a buying balance and a key support level and this is the HVL from 3 days ago that matches the like auction top. You think all that matters if somebody wants to sell 50,000 contracts? It's going right through your level, right through your stop and laughing at you. So no matter what day trading system you're using, you got diminished edge today. So you got two options, and that option at the very end, I spell out very clearly. Choose to either accept volatility conditions or watch it instead to learn. Those are your two choices. Just to remember, be ready to defend the choice that you made at 4 p.m. All right, now, because the choice to make is not right now, but 15, 20 minutes after the open, as we see if the auction can settle, we got the choice of whether we're going to act or not. Um, it's a decision for you. I could tell you from an institutional side of things, this kind of event without any clarity takes 3 to 5 days approximately to fully settle into the pricing models of companies. Today, the quants are going to be working overtime trying to figure out what the hell it means and how to adjust. All right. So the trading plan for today is you got to kind of go bullish, despite the fact that it's a news event that's refuted and all that. The price action's telling us we have to go bullish. Flip zone is 6,600 and 6,610. The 10 is a great level because that's the HVL high volume level for gamma for the zero DTE options, directly relevant to today's price action. All right, buy levels. We've kind of already had the 25 work out, but I put 43, 25, and 6,600 are sort of the ones you want to be looking at. The 25 worked like a charm, but it doesn't mean we don't have any more opportunity. If the 25 worked, I don't mind buying the 90. If it, as long as it's accepting, we have to have the right things to see the upside. And being it's 9:18, we're gonna find out what happens at the bottom of the hour. We're getting an open above the prior open. All right, we're getting an overnight high that expanded above the prior day high. We're getting an overnight low that expanded below the prior day low. Okay, so you have a really big expansion day to the upside. It's holding at the Friday open, so it is showing some early signs of acceptance. But if we see more acceptance, I think we could auction higher from here pretty easily and get into the 6,800 handle today. All right. Or the sellers show up and push this thing back down into the 65.50. It's one of the, we're going to have a lot of movement today, one way or another. And the more patient you are, the more you're good at dismissing any opportunity as an opportunity and waiting for your edge, the more opportunity you're actually going to get today in this volatility. And by the time you get the conviction, it's gonna stick. All right. Have your ear out on the news. I got a news squawk running, and people in the trading room will be hearing some of it today, unless it gets noisy. But if anything happens, we'll be one of the first to know. I love my news squawk provider. They let everyone like as soon as they squawked it, the market moved up. It was very, very timely. All right. Be vigilant today. Set a daily max loss dollar amount and take A plus setups, and you should have some edge still, even though the thing is diminished. Remember, like one thing that'll change, you won't have as much confirmation. If you're used to over confirming your trade, you probably won't confirm many of them today. Prashant, I just took a little break Thursday, Friday. Wife had a little incident, and I traded, but not live in the room even, so I missed 2 days. Hector. I won't even trade until after maybe a second coffee on days like this, after weeks like the last two. Coffee. Hector, good call. Make it extra strong. Make it a double. Cut the milk. And just drink sour, bitter, sweet, delicious coffee beans. Coffee bean juice, actually. Um, J Sesh Burr Music. Check out the community. Go to vault.tradeproacademy.com and my book is in there, my chart book as well, with all the configurations and settings, all the sauce. The only thing you don't get is the GEX levels because that's a separate subscription, but the study's on there. Um, that's what I got for YouTube. I think I'm gonna move next week into a different setup for YouTube. Not what I show, but more so along the lines of being able to put the link out first rather than just going live at 9 a.m. That way, hey, something's coming up. You'll know 30 to 40 minutes before. But I'll keep you posted. And don't forget, by the way, tomorrow we have a webinar on market by order, MBO, how MBO is used for sentiment, for direction, and for trade opportunities. Um, that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I really hope to see you guys there. Link is in the description. You're going to learn a ton of stuff. All right. Love you, YouTube. I'm going to cut you loose. Trade pros in the room. Give me 1 second. We'll go through some final things and get ready for the open. YouTube, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Link in the description. I appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for, when you guys are sad that I missed a day or two, it means you care. And I want you to know I reciprocate that. I care about you too. Love you guys and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Goodbye.